Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, The Road to Mobile First, User Experience and SEO. I'm your moderator, Erin Hutchinson from Merkle's marketing team. To lead today's webinar, we're joined by three industry experts. I'm really excited to have them all on the line today, and I know you guys will get a lot out of this webinar. We've got Grace Dolan, who's the head of mobile activation at Google, Melody Petula, who is the senior manager of SEO at Merkle, and Austin Blaze, also Senior Manager of SEO at Merkle. And without further ado, I'd like to hand the webinar over to Mr. Austin Blaze. Austin?
Thank you, Erin. So when your site is found via organic search, ensure your site will perform, as brand loyalty is not what it once was. I think we've all seen the stats recently that people less and less are going to the same brands for different searches. They're looking for cheaper shipping options. They're looking for better deals. Maybe they're looking for free shipping. So they're looking for a lot of different things and maybe not always going back to the same brand. In that regard, mobile performance and SEO are complements to further your marketing and user experience objectives. It's very important to ask yourself the question, what would it be like if I were a new visitor to my website? Would that new visitor, would that person understand what the website's about, what you're trying to communicate to them, what you're trying to sell, what sort of knowledge you're trying to impart on them? Are you delighting your users with that experience? Ask yourself those questions, because people often, especially via organic search, are finding your website for the first time or maybe the second time. And I'll pass it over to Melody.
The theme that we really want to emphasize here is that both the mobile experience and mobile optimization are mutually beneficial. So what exactly does that mean when we talk about these two pieces? On the mobile experience side, we're really talking about your mobile platform's ability to serve. We're talking about how fast it is, how well you can match their intent, the interface that you're providing to them, and really making it easy for them to accomplish the tasks that they need to accomplish. On the mobile optimization side, we're really talking about SEO. Are your signals set up in a way that makes it easy for bots to understand? Do you have everything in place so that you are prepared for the mobile first index? And then kind of bridging the gap between these two pieces is mobile friendliness. Mobile friendliness obviously plays on the mobile experience side because you have to have the right size tap targets. You want the interface to be easy for a user to use. Your fonts have to be easy to read. But at the same time, that's also going to be a ranking factor on the SEO side, helping to improve your mobile optimization. So the takeaway here is that if you want to have a strong mobile platform, you really need to pay attention to both of these pieces. And with that, I will turn it over to Grace. One quick point of clarification before we jump in there. Grace does not work on the SEO side of the business, so all of the SEO recommendations in this presentation are coming from Merkle, unless Grace provides a specific answer there. I'll turn it over to you, Grace.
Great. Thank you, Melody. So I want to start, let me just advance the slide here. Okay, great. I'm going to start with a controversial quote here. Mobile doesn't work for us. I can't see anyone on this webinar, but I'm guessing there'd be a lot of hands up if I asked who's ever said these words before. I myself have been working in mobile at Google for over 5 years. And I would say I've probably heard this or something like this about 100 times. And now, today, there are over trillions of searches globally on Google every year, more than half happening on smartphones. Yet we still hear marketers say that mobile doesn't work. And so it's very important. And I've focused my career on this, specifically in helping marketers to increase their revenues and position their business for long-term success by focusing on the mobile experience. So what I found was, in most of the cases when I would dig in, I would ask the marketer, how are you considering, what are you considering as success? And in most of those cases, what I heard back was that they were applying the desktop KPIs to mobile. In one case, I remember there's a financial services client who I won't name, who was complaining that mobile didn't work for them. So I looked at their mobile site to find out what their conversion was, and it was a 12-field form. Of course it didn't work. Who wants to sit down on their mobile phone and enter 12 fields of information, right? And so what I realized is It wasn't that mobile doesn't work for them, but what they were doing doesn't work for mobile. And so this is, I think, really key to understanding how to be successful, is taking the time to understand how to make the experience ideal for what the customer needs. And when you build for the customer, of course, you will see success. So here's just a couple lessons I've learned over the last few years. And, these are just broad insights that I think everyone on this call should help. I don't know why it says 111, by the way. It said 1, 2, 3 when I built the slide. Okay. So your mobile phone is used in all of these, what I'll call in-between moments. So according to Mary Meeker's KP Internet Trends, as well as DScout, Mobile Touches research, we've found that the average person uses their phone 75 to 150 times a day. That's not just touches their phone, but actual sessions, web sessions. And we've married that with eMarketer data that says the average person spends 196 minutes on a device per day. And so when you combine those two stats, you get basically about a minute to 2.6 minutes per session. So that's what I'm talking about, these in-between moments, right, where you're standing in line at Starbucks waiting to order your coffee, or you're waiting for your commuter train to pick you up. You're in the elevator, just 16 floors to go to get to your desk, or you're walking from the train to desk. I keep going, but you get the point. So there's all these moments where we grab our phone, right, and we have about a minute or 2 minutes to do something. And so what I do in all the sessions when I meet with a marketer in person is I do an exercise. And I don't know if this will work on webinar, but I think we can just try it. And you can do this on your own with your teams after the webinar. But what I want you to do is, just for a minute, grab your phones. I know they've got to be nearby. And I want you to imagine that you are your customer and that you're in one of these in-between moments. Maybe you're standing in line at Starbucks. What is a term that your customer might search on Google? Right? What is something that they might, what's a moment or a mindset they might be in and they might be looking for in that, standing in line at Starbucks? And just pick one and go ahead and do a search. Then what I want you to do is look at the results. What is your customer discovering? Doesn't matter if it's paid or organic. Are they discovering your business? If you do see your business, will you please click on the listing? And now I want you to pay attention to what they're finding on your landing page. So going back to the search term or the intent that you started with at the beginning, does the content on your site match the intent of their search? And then what can they accomplish? Can they make a purchase? Okay, I just stopped my timer. That was 1 minute and 20 seconds. So that's about as long as your customer is going to have in that line at Starbucks. I'm using that as an example, but in those in-between moments. And so it's really important, and I want you to think about what experience that customer gets in 1 minute and 20 seconds, for example. Were you happy with what you experienced, or did you find ways to improve it? And I'll say this, I've done this about 100 times at least, and every single time I've done this, the marketer has said, oh, there's something I didn't realize about that experience, or just going through it really helped recognize some places where we could optimize the experience and make that easier for the customer. So hopefully you can do this exercise at home with your team, back at the office, and you'll see some areas where you can improve.